Hi everyone, it's me, Kat Francis, and I'm here with the Massillon Museum of Art. I'm going to be teaching you today about how to make really cool flower wind chimes. So you'll need a few things for this. You're going to need some sort of hoop, an embroidery hoop works, or anything that you have that's just like a circular thing. This will be the top of our wind chime. You'll need a few smaller hoops. So see, we'll have one big one and then one smaller one. It doesn't have to be this big. This is just what I had laying around, and I always try to use whatever I have around the house. I have some smaller hoops, and how I found these is this is just like a mason jar lid. So it's just a hoop that needs to be, you know, hollow as well. I have 4 of them, but as you'll see as this lesson goes on, you really can have as many of these and have different sizes as you would like. So I would suggest, you know, you can make one along with me, but after you watch it, you might have a few ways you want to alter and change your wind chime. Also, contact paper. This is a clear paper. One side is sticky, the other side is clear, that's covered. You can find this Walmart, Amazon, Target, any craft store will have it. I'm not sure if they have it at the Dollar Tree though. They might. I'm always surprised with what sort of materials I find there. I also have some flowers that I just collected outside of my garden. So just different sizes and variety of leaves and flowers that we can use. I have a marker or Sharpie. I have some yarn, kind of a funky color. I kind of would rather use something different, but I don't know, orange might be pretty fun. And you can use any kind of string you'd like, hemp, yarn. I just try to use collected materials I have around the house. So the first step of this is we're going to take our contact paper and you're going to trace your circles onto here. So you're going to want double the amount of circles you have traced. For example, I have 4 of these little mason jar lids. I plan to have 4 little designs, so I need twice this many. So since I have 4 rings, I need 4 times 2, I need 8 circles drawn on my contact paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quick now. So I have my 8 circles, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut those out. And another detail about this is when I traced my circles, I used, so if you use a tin or a lid like this, see there's the outer circle and the inner circle. I use the inner circle, and I'm just gonna kind of cut it out a little bit bigger. Once you watch me do this, it'll make more sense. So I don't want my circles to fall through the cap, but I also don't want them to be too big where they don't grip onto that lip. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out my circles. Some other things you could do, there's a lot actually you could do with this. You could collect beads and add beads to your strings, tassels, little charms, little bells. You could really, there's a lot of different things you can do with this, which is pretty cool. And this command or contact paper, it's really fun stuff. I've seen where people also take and make like their own window clings with them, with using pressed flowers. It's, you know, it doesn't leave a lot of residue. Like with my toddler, I sometimes tape some to the wall, sticky side out, and I would put like puzzle pieces or different things for her to peel off. So this is definitely like a really cool like craft material to have kind of hanging around, especially if you have kids. And what's cool about this too is this can be a nice like outdoor activity where you can go outside and collect different leaves and flowers anything flat really could work with this. You could cut stuff out of paper, construction paper, and put it on there. You'll kind of see this is going to be like a little clear window of pressed flowers. I think I have all my circles. So I just cut mine out with a little bit of an edge around them, just so there's a little space to work with. So if I need to trim them a little smaller, I can. You can't really add, but you can subtract when you're cutting, right? So first step would be to peel. And if you have littles, this is probably a step you're really going to need to help them with if they're joining in. So you're going to peel that top layer off. And I just kind of use my nail. And so you'll see one side is sticky, but it's clear. I'm going to take and put, see, like a leaf on there? So you're just going to press a few different things onto your sticky paper. And you can kind of pull some flowers apart, things like that. And then you'll take another circle, because remember I told you went double the amount of circles. So we have 8 circles cut out for our 4 rings. So I'm going to peel another piece off, all sticky. I went ahead and I have all my pressed flowers on there. I'm going to take one of my rings and I place it so that the sticky side is going in. So you'll have 2. So this part's kind of good to like watch before you start it, and then you can kind of rewind and things like that. So see how I wanted a little bit of an edge, it's so it doesn't fall through my ring. So I have it like that, and then I'm going to take the other piece of sticky paper so that there's sticky sides touching. So when this is done, it shouldn't be sticky because the sticky is sticking to the stick. If you know what I'm saying. Alright, so we're kind of putting this in there, and you just want to be pretty careful to really pinch it around the edge. So remember I said you wanted to kind of make it a little bit bigger than the inner circle, but if it was too big, it wouldn't, you want it to kind of pinch around that. So a little bit of lip's good. And then I'm taking it, I'm pinching it and just making sure it's in there really well. And then you have this cool like disc that would be on your little wind chime, and see these metal pieces will hit each other. It'll look really pretty, but see I have flowers in there. My lid is kind of rusted, which I sort of like, but yeah. So we'll do that with the other pieces. Okay, see I stuck more on there. So that's the sticky side, so they're nice and stuck to that. And I'll peel another one of these. And we're gonna take, and another thing is you wanna be able to kind of peel away a little edge so that you can thread your string through. It shouldn't be hard to lift from it. That's something to consider. So I'm gonna kind of lay that on there and then pinch them together. And you can always secure this with a little bit of more glue or tape or whatever you need. It might take a practice round, you know, but that's what's cool about this command strip is it comes in a big roll. So if you make it and it's too small of a disc or whatever, then you know, okay, I'm gonna trace this a little bit bigger, right? And try for better size. So here's another disc with a flower in there. Okay, 2 more to go. And make sure you separate which you peeled the sticker from and which you didn't, so you're not sitting there trying to peel from an already peeled one. They can sometimes be kind of hard to get separated. I'm gonna put that one to the side and try a new one. Sometimes that's what it takes. Just come on, oh, there it is. Okay, this one I'm going to put a big flower in. So I'm just taking my flower and I'm smushing it in there. And this one had a little bit of a stem, so I'm going to cut that off so it's a little easier to press. So I have my stuck flower on there, and I just lay it on top of, oops, I lay it on top of the cap, and then I peel another one. And I'm laying it down, I'm pressing it on there. And you can take also, the reason we have tape is you can take a little tape and reinforce it also if you like. Like since that one was kind of thick, it's kind of pulling the strip up on the one side. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of extra tape to secure it on there. So I'm just taking some tape on the inside, just going around the edge just to make sure it's really stuck to that side. And see? Doesn't that look cool? You could even use this maybe if you're, you know, have mason jars. You just want to have cool lids, you know, if you don't have food in them. Maybe you store cotton balls or something in them, right? I'm going to cut out one new circle because that one I cannot get to peel and it's just not worth fighting it. I'm going to go ahead and cut out another circle real quick. So I'm on my last ring. Hopefully you're still with me. Sticky side, I'm gonna put some, ooh, these are cool. These little flowers I found in my garden. It was kind of fun to go around my front yard with my toddler and find some flowers with her. Although I try not to teach her to pick flowers too much because she'll go ham on my garden and try to rip them all out if I let her. Okay. So I have my sticky side of my flowers. I'm going to put them, and it doesn't matter if you start with the inside or outside of the lid. I'm going to lay this on here. And then I'll put the other piece inside so it sandwiches it in. Okay, let's see what I have. It's cool, right? Okay. So now that we have our discs with our flowers inside of them, I'm going to take and cut some yarn. And this is where if you wanted to add beads or bells or different trinkets, shells, anything, you could make it really cool. I'm going to make mine, so I'm going to take and cut, let's see, I'm going to cut it 2 different lengths. So I have string about this long. This is up to you how long you want it to hang. And then I'm going to take some string and cut it a little bit shorter because I want it to be of different lengths. And I'm going to take and you might have to take some scissors or an X-Acto blade and put a little hole in it. For mine, I'm able to just kind of bend down a little bit of the contact paper and fish that yarn through. Something that probably would have been easier now that I'm thinking about it is threading it before you stick the flowers on, but it's still working just fine. And I'm going to reinforce that little spot with some Scotch tape. So I'm just tying it on here. I'm going to show you. You could use ribbon, anything, and I'm going to try, you know, trim that little thread. But see, I have it on a string now. I'm going to do it to the other ones. See, there's number 2. And what's cool about this is you can really do this with any age, I think. You know, maybe if you have littler ones, they could, you know, just do the pressing the flowers and you string it on for them, things like that. This is really like a fun one, I think, for anybody. Okay, so there's my next one, and then my last one. Okay, and now I'm going to take and trim this little short thread so it doesn't hang off and look funny. I'm going to do it to the other ones. And now this is where you could now that it's like this, you could put more beads on this. That would look really pretty. Or you could string, like I said, shells, bells, all kinds of stuff to it and make it look really like magical. And so I'm just doing kind of the basic model, but I hope that you kind of do it and like add your own spin on it. So now that we have it, I'm going to string it onto my embroidery hoop. And you could use a little piece of hot glue or Elmer's glue or things like that. If this is going to be out where it could get hit by rain, just, you know, be aware that it might not hold up to like harsh elements. Like if it's in your patio or on your porch, it should be good. But if you're gonna have it like in a high weather area, I would use something that would withstand like tacky glue or something. Would probably hold up a little bit better. Well, not tacky glue, I guess it's water soluble. Maybe super glue. So here is this on this hoop. I'm gonna keep adding the other ones, and like I said, I want them at different lengths. And the reason you could use a little glop of glue is just to make sure that this string doesn't slide around. Or if you're using like a wooden hoop, you could take and like cut a little notch in it to sit the string in. So see, mine are at different lengths. And if you do glue them, I would wait until you position them, because as you may have seen, I just scooted mine down some. Oh, they're already making noise. They're ready to do their work. Okay, so I'm stringing this one on. And just thinking about the length that they lay. So see how mine are all, let me hold it kind of flat. See how they're different lengths? I think that would look neat. I have one more to put on there. And if you want it noisy, maybe you want them closer together. If you just like how they look, almost like a sun catcher. That's another thing. You could have used these just as a sun catcher. You could have like just this string part and put on like a suction cup on your window, and it would look really pretty. Okay, so you can see I have mine at different lengths. Here, I'll kind of move it so my white wall's behind me. And there's a lot you could do with this to make it, you know, really neat. You could put one hanging from the center. You could add littler bit ones or bigger ones, but this is kind of starting off point. And see how cool it looks to see those flowers forever encased in there. So that is our wind chime. So thank you so much for joining me for this activity. I hope you enjoyed and had fun with it, and you do lots of cool stuff with your flowers. Yesterday was summer solstice for me when filming this, so it's nice to work with nature a little bit. All right, thank you so much. Once again, I'm Kat Francis, and this is Maslin Museum. Thank you.